Hello. Hi, everyone. Greetings and a good day to you all. I'm teacher Oakley. Welcome to Verbling. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Hello, hello. This week, at this time slot, I will be doing classes about TOEFL speaking all week long. Hi, Paulino. Nice to see you. In any case, today we're going to be doing an overview. So I welcome you to join me. And please don't be shy. Since today is kind of an overview and introduction, I welcome all questions about the TOEFL exam or even IELTS exam, comparison. You can ask me questions about, although our focus this week will be speaking, you can ask me questions about reading, writing, listening, whatever you would like. I'm today going to tell you the basics of what to expect and give you some general tips for the whole speaking test. Perhaps we will get into some actual questions as time allows. As an example. Hello, Igor. How are you?
Hi, Teacher Oakley. I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How was your weekend?
All good. Can I say something like that?
All good. Yeah, that's very American kind of answer. All good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned English a lot.
You did? Oh. Yeah. Terrific. Well, that's
How
good.
was your weekend, Teacher Oakley?
Overall pretty good. I had yesterday I brought my little 1.5-year-old daughter to the mall where there were cartoon characters dressed up like a cartoon that she likes. You know, people dressed in costumes. So she got to meet them. It was funny. It was amusing. So I had some good quality time with the family, actually, to answer your question. It was good. Very nice. It was terrific. Okay. Igor, so far it looks like a one-on-one class.
Yeah, it's a private class.
Wow, cool. So
I have to pay for private class a lot of money, but I am for a monthly abonnement here. So.
Yeah. Hang on. Hicham or Hikam is asking in the chat box TOEIC. No, we're concentrating on TOEFL today. However, I have worked with TOEIC before as well, quite a bit actually. So if you have any questions about that, Hicham or Hikam, I'd be happy to entertain them.
Hicham, you can come in because it's the same. TOEFL for me it's the same. It's a practice for me of language.
Yeah, they are related in practicing. That's a very good point. Thank you, Igor. Practicing for TOEFL or IELTS will help you in TOEIC, and practicing TOEFL will help IELTS, etc. They're all they have many similarities actually, forming opinions, descriptions, etc., and mostly supporting your ideas. Okay, before I get started on my spiel, do you have any questions, Igor, in regards to TOEFL? I know we've had classes before, you and I.
No, I want to practice because I think the most important question for me is practice. If I can answer, listening, I can pass this test in TOEFL. Writing, yes. Only speaking, because I cannot speak very well. So this is my main problem.
Yeah, well, the key is, of course, TOEFL, the thing to keep in mind is everything is timed through the whole test. So that's That's the big challenge, right? Is that you have some preparation time, but then you have a limited opportunity to speak, which is timed, and your speaking will be recorded and scored later.
For me, it's not this the main challenge. It's okay. It's timed. I don't care. I need to speak fluently. I do not find very quickly right words, and I find wronger words for or not the best words what I can say in that moment. So this is my problem, that I forget many words. I know these words. Yeah, if I would write something, I would recall these words in text. But when I talk on the spot, I cannot. So that's why I need to practice.
Okay, well, that brings up an interesting point. Let's, for those of you viewers or whoever, if you're thinking about doing the TOEFL and you haven't done this before, let me start with some basics. You're going to go to a testing center to take this test. You should bring yourself a couple of pencils because you can make notes during the test. Actually, that's all you can bring. A couple of pencils, note paper, although most testing centers will actually provide note paper and a pencil. However, what else should you bring? Absolutely nothing, because they won't allow you to bring anything else into the test center. Hang on a second, I gotta close the window. It's raining really hard.
Okay. What is the temperature in where you live in the Philippines?
It's very cloudy, so it's not super hot. It's like maybe 28. But rainy season has started. There's a tropical depression lingering off the coast. Do you know what a tropical depression is?
No. It's raining. Rain?
Yeah.
And windy.
Yeah, it's raining, windy. A tropical depression is, if it develops further, it starts spinning around, it turns into a typhoon. It's a very, very low pressure. Depression, low. So, yeah, it brings rain. It means there's a lot of cloud and rain and storms. It means there's storms coming. When a tropical depression gets, I don't know, even more depressed, it turns into a typhoon. So we are just at the verge of typhoon season here in the Philippines. Yay! In any case, let me, I know, Igor, you probably would prefer to get right to the questions. I realize that, but
because I don't have practice. I need to practice.
I know.
That's why I'm on Verling, because I need to practice with native speakers. They correct. They correct and they speak correct. So.
Well, we try.
Very important.
In any case, we try. That's for sure. All right, but for those viewers, or for the recording, if you're going to be looking at the TOEFL classes all week, I do need to give just a brief rundown of what to expect in TOEFL speaking test.
Okay, only brief.
I'll try.
Brief as you can.
I'll do my best. All right.
Time is money. Time is money. Money is time.
Right. All right. The TOEFL speaking IBT, it's called, speaking test is 20 minutes, and there are 6 questions. Actually, the scoring, you have your raw score is 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, up to 4. So obviously 6 times 4 is 24. That's your raw score. Your actual TOEFL scoring, you get in each section, reading, listening, writing, and speaking, a maximum of 30 points. So your raw score is then translated or scaled into your true TOEFL score.
Sorry, Oakley, why do you say raw score? What is that? Raw score.
Okay, there's 6 questions, right? The best score you can get is a 4, is a perfect score in each one, which adds up to 24.
Okay.
So that's your raw score.
What is raw?
Base score. Before they scale it, they're gonna
R-A-W, you say?
R-A-W.
R-A-W, yeah?
R-A-W, your raw score.
Raw meat.
Yeah, like raw meat. Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
no, I mean
same word.
The meaning of this word.
Yeah, and actually same kind of meaning. If not only food, obviously we can talk about raw food, uncooked, but we can talk about raw to mean something that hasn't been actually fully processed yet. So your raw score is your unprocessed, unscaled score.
Okay.
Raw data. We can talk about raw data. The numbers and facts which haven't really been put into perspective. Sorted. Yes, that's exactly it.
Or analyzed, or yeah.
That's right. All right, so same meaning there. All right, so you got your 6 questions. They can be divided into 2 types. The first 2 questions are what they call independent. You have a question, you'll be able to read the question. For example, let's try one. Igor, what event in your life made you very happy?
So how much time I have to answer this question?
Good question. You would normally have 30 seconds to prepare and 60 seconds to speak in the first 2 independent questions. This question is very general and very typical. These are going to be questions about your personal experience or your personal opinions about something, but often your personal experience.
Okay. So I will answer because I'm kind of ready. But you listen and you see where I make grammatical mistakes.
That's so my job.
Feedback.
Alrighty.
Some feedback.
Okay.
Okay, please repeat the question so I could answer.
Certainly. What event in your life made you very happy?
The most important event that made me very happy is when I finished the university. And that day I felt I was very happy because I defend my thesis, and on that day they give me my diploma, my graduate diploma. And why I was very happy because it was a beautiful day, and I realized that I finished university, and it's a new step in my life, and I will. I am not the same what I was 4 years ago or 1 year ago, so I have more perspectives. I have important things to do, and all these things they was in my head, and I was very, very happy because of that. This event made me very happy. Thank you. In 1 minute, I answered.
I even got the thank you at the end. Okay, you're okay. First of all, you can slow down a little bit. Actually, it was very hard to write notes and give you feedback because you're going very fast.
I'm going very fast to speak much more, so I would have a much better score.
But let me. Oh, that's very good. That allows me to make a very, very important point. Actually, quantity versus quality. Actually, in any of these, IELTS, TOEFL, TOEIC, really what you're aiming for is a quality answer, not quantity of words spoken. That scoring does not have anything to do with quantity of words spoken, actually, for any of these tests.
Yeah, but sorry, this is my best quality. What can I offer at the moment? This is my best quality. I can't something more. If you want high quality, I need to write 30 minutes answer, and after that to read in 1 minute. It will be the best quality. But at the moment on the spot only, this is my best quality. That's why I practice here.
Okay. All right, hang on. I just want to say hi to Chow. Hey, Chow. Nice to see you.
Hi, good to see you again. I slept over the clock of the alarm clock didn't ring. I don't know, so I'm late.
That's okay. Better late than never is the English expression. That's all right. Welcome to the class. In any case, my point is definitely they will take a quality, clearly developed idea over 3 quick, undeveloped ideas. If you're giving like your reasons, you know, why that was your happiest day, which you did, which is what you're supposed to do, it's better to have 1 or 2 really developed reasons rather than trying to hurry and fit in 3 or 4. You're going to get a better score, definitely. All right, let me see if I can give you a little feedback in specifics. Good. Igor used a topic sentence. That's a good start. Basically, it's a good idea, and it helps your flow of ideas to start by paraphrasing the question, using words from the question, and stating your opinion. Just stating your opinion without adding points. In other words, the happiest day of my life was when I graduated college. Boom. Don't start in your first sentence. You shouldn't be using because. You shouldn't start listing reasons immediately.
Okay.
Have a nice, which you did. That was good. My notes are really horrible because you were going so fast. I don't even know what I mean. But when you said graduate degree, I'm not sure if I misheard you or if it was pronunciation or word stress. It sounded strange. It sounded like graduation, graduate. I'm not sure what you said. Bad feedback.
I think I said the grade. I meant that when you finish university, what is that?
When you graduate.
Yeah, graduate. So, and what I wanted to say that when you defend diploma, after that they give you this document that you finished university. What is that? Degree?
Yeah, degree or diploma.
Yeah, so this I meant.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine. But one thing for everybody, with AT endings, all right, this is actually common for all English. This is pronunciation for everyone. AT endings, when we use it as an adjective, like graduate degree, graduate school, it's ut. It's reduced pronunciation. When we use it as a noun or an adjective, it's reduced. When we use the ATE ending word as a verb, then we fully pronounce it, and it is stressed. It sounds like 8. I graduated in 1990, whatever. Just a note for everyone. One thing is, now, when you're talking, and actually this is very good, the question I asked you was what? A happy event in your life, right? What event in your life made you very happy? Okay. Immediately, you should start thinking about synonyms for happy, so that as you speak, it was a joyous occasion. I was delighted to receive my diploma. I was ecstatic when I walked up on stage and they handed me the diploma. I couldn't have been happier. All right, I just said happy 4 different ways. Igor, when you did your little piece, you said happy at least 3 times, maybe 4, but you said happy, 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 happy,
yeah.
happy.
Yeah. And so what synonyms do we have for happy? Delighted.
Delighted. Grinning ear to ear. Ebullient. Ebullient. Oh, sure. Yeah.
First
great.
time I heard this word.
Really? You're not gonna ask me to spell it, are you? You know my spelling. Oh my gosh. Ebullient.
Abulent. Yeah.
I think it's double L's. Yeah, that's not right though. Oh, I don't know. Oh, there's an I in it. That's why. Okay. Anyway, not important. You can check my spelling. That may be wrong. Ecstatic. There's another one. All right. Ecstatic. Excited. Delighted. Many possibilities. Okay, anyway, So use synonyms for the word, especially a keyword in the question. That may be one of the things that you're thinking of first. And that reminds me, all of you guys practicing for these tests, a skill, which this may seem quite silly, but a skill you want to develop is the ability to think very quickly. And what you can do, it's called word association or free word association. If you have a partner, your sister, your mom or dad or somebody, you can try this very simply, just, like this. I say a word, the next person says a word, next person says a word, next person says a word. Maybe we'll try that in just a second. I want a couple more points for Igor. You also said not the same what I was. You were saying, I realized I was not the same what I was. It should be not the same as I was.
As I was. But how I said not the same what I was, yeah?
But that's incorrect.
As I was.
Yes. I didn't feel the same. Yeah. Not the same as I was. And you won subject-verb agreement. You said I don't even remember, but you said things was. Of course, it should be things were.
Oh, okay. Plural.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually, okay, one tip for any of you taking the test. Oh, Andrew, where'd you go? Darn it. Okay. Free word association, something to practice. So, okay, I'm going to say a word. Chow, say the first thing that comes to your mind. When Chow says the word, Igor, you say the first thing that comes to your mind after Chow's word. And then
about Chow's what?
Yeah, we don't know what he's going to say. Ready, Chow? Ocean.
Fish.
Okay.
No. So I need to.
That's fine. You're done.
Okay.
Igor?
Seafood. Seafood.
Crabs. Chow?
Crabs.
Crabs. Crab.
Okay, this was my word. My word was, but I wasn't sure that this is English word. Crabs.
Seafood? Yeah, crabs. Crabs like this.
Yeah. So, Chow.
Sideways.
What is your word?
I don't know. So I need to say some word related to ocean or
crabs.
No. You need to say word that when you hear this word, what word is in your head at that moment.
Exactly.
For example, computer. I hear computer, and I can say
keyboard.
Laptop, or keyboard, or mouse.
Yeah.
After mouse, I can say keyboard. Yeah. What word is first in your head?
Okay, I see.
Beach. Andrew's still here, kind of. Beach. All right. So the idea, Chow, it was what we're trying to develop how to think of synonyms. Like my point I was making with Igor, thinking of happy, ecstatic, ebullient, delighted, laughing. Okay, quickly being able to think of many words related to a topic. All right. So when I said ocean, and then you said fish and seafood and crabs, boom, 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 boom. There's 4 words that I could use in writing or speaking, right? If I'm making notes. I'm just demonstrating a way that you can practice, and this is actually a skill. You can actually do this yourself, like Igor just demonstrated. Computer, keyboard, mouse, modem. Yeah. How many words can you come up with in 10 seconds? Challenge yourself. Because believe it or not, you will actually find that you can improve how many words you can come up with in 10 or 15 seconds, which will help you in the writing and speaking sections of the TOEFL test. All right, I know we started getting into the tips already, so real briefly.
So what point do you give me for this answer? One honest. What?
I don't know. Definitely not a 4. Definitely not a 0. Basically, scoring is like this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0 is if you don't say anything. 1 if you're speaking English, even if it makes no sense. Baseball, hot dog, peanut butter, walnut. Great, you get a 1. It doesn't even have to make sense.
Computer eats seafood, ocean.
Yeah.
Monkey.
Monkey at the computer eating seafood. Yeah, okay. That's a 1. 2 it has to be related to the question, but involves a lot of repetition or pausing or self-correction. Dead air. Well, even though you're answering the question, if you have a lot of dead air. You guys, do you know what dead air is? Do you guys know dead air?
Yes.
No, that's something different, but yeah, hesitation or filler. That's called filler. Equally, also bad. Same, bad. Dead air is nothing. A long pause where you're not recording anything. You're not speaking. That's called dead air. Okay, so maybe you talk for only 30 seconds. Maybe you use a lot of filler. Hitchum, it's dead air. Dead air is just quiet mic, no speaking. Okay. Any case, that's like a level 2. So clearly, probably you're not a level 2. You're on topic, but it's not organized. It's level 2.
But
3.
But to be honest, my opinion, my level is 3 to 4. This is my subjective opinion. 3 to 4, my subjective opinion, because I'm an optimist.
Okay, I would probably guess a 3 because you were on topic and you tried to give me supporting ideas. A real big key to the speaking test, and this again goes for IELTS, TOEFL, TOEIC, is staying organized and focused. And that means one sentence leads to another. You're going to be in trouble if you're repeating information, repeating entire ideas over and over again. That's not good. You're going to end up with a 2 or a 3. At best, a 3. A 2 even, if you repeat the same thing 3 times. Even words, like I pointed out with happy earlier. You don't want to be repeating things over and over. It's just never good. 4 is, you don't have to be perfect to get a 4, I want to add. No one's perfect. Here's another point. You are timed. You have 60 seconds to speak. If the timer finishes, if you run out of time, however, up until you run out of time, your speaking is clearly developed and is following a logical progression. Maybe you don't actually say a conclusion. All right? Maybe you don't get to it. You run out of time. As long as your answers are very well organized, you can still get a 4. You can have small mistakes and still get a 4. Yes, people. Many people ask me, oh, I have an accent. What about my accent? You can have an accent and still get a 4, as long as everything is understandable. All right? Speaking of accents and understandable and all that, if you do have an accent and you're worried about it, one tactic or strategy is just slow down your pacing a little bit. Believe it or not, this is very, very effective for eliminating accent problems. Just slow down the pacing a little, and that will help. Be careful, especially Spanish speakers out there, be careful about ending words. In English, usually the endings of words are actually more important than the beginning of words. So make sure you end the words that, like especially 2-syllable words. Say oxygen, not oxygen. Oxygen. Finish the word. That's important. Notice when I'm talking to you guys, I'm moving my hands around and bobbing my head. And you know why? Because that makes me comfortable. And it's easier for me to speak to you. So, another tip for taking, you can't do this in IELTS because you're talking to another human and they expect you to look at them when you're talking. But in TOEFL, you're talking to a computer screen. So you can close your eyes and just gesture and imagine that you're talking to somebody. Actually, this may seem stupid, but if you try it out, you may find that you're a little more comfortable speaking, especially if you're a natural gesturer anyway. Juan, do you gesture when you speak? Do you use hand gestures? And hi, Juan, by the way. Hey.
Hey, Oakley. How are you doing?
Good. Nice to see you. Are you a natural? Do you use hand movement when you speak?
Yeah, I do it a lot. Sometimes I think I overdo it.
There's no such thing, I don't think. I do too. I'm always moving my hands. Do you do it in your native language?
Yes.
And do you do it when you speak English?
Well, I think I do it also. I'm not very sure because the reason why I'm not very sure is because I do my speaking mainly in Berlin, and since I never use the webcam, I cannot see myself.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
Oakley, I read that if you use gestures when you speak, when you speak, if you are moving hands, head, this is because you do not have large vocabulary, and you try to fill your gaps in the speech with these moving hands. This I read from the not psychologist, but book in English.
Really?
About gestures, about body language, and this kind of things. So when a person is moving a lot and the hands, this is because of his vocabulary is not rich, so he tried to fill this with his gestures. And his culture is not at high level. This is not my opinion. This I read from the book.
That's interesting, and there might be some truth to that, but I believe, my opinion is, that it also has a great deal to do with your culture. I mean, Italians are jumping around when they speak. Italians use their hands constantly, and it's very much every Italian I've ever met uses their hands. Americans gesture a lot, as a matter of fact. That's interesting, though. There might be some truth to that. Ciao, actually.
Yeah.
Do Chinese people tend to gesture a lot when they speak? And
do I gesture a lot?
Do you? Yeah. Do you?
I don't know. You can say I don't know.
I don't. Not too much, actually.
Okay, that's maybe. Yeah.
How about Chinese people in general? Do they use a lot of gestures?
I didn't notice a lot, but. Maybe not, or maybe.
Okay, well,
actually, when they are taking a meal on the table, they may. When you just drink some alcohol after that, they may use some gesture. That's true.
That's funny. Yeah, everybody starts gesturing when they're drinking alcohol. Okay, that means maybe Igor's theory is correct. You start drinking, you forget your words.
It's not my theory. It's,
I know.
If you said that you worked in sales, so I think maybe you know this author. I can say the name, Alan Pease.
That does.
Introduce name in Google and you will find his books, and read all books of him. So you will find this kind of information. It's not my information, and this is very famous. It's English author, American.
It does ring a bell. Indeed, it does.
I read a lot of books about that, so I know what I'm speaking about.
Okay. All right. Well, true enough, but still my advice stands. If you're more comfortable gesturing, remember your voice is being recorded. You're not being filmed, so it doesn't matter. If it makes you feel better and more comfortable and relaxed, then by all means do so. All right. Backing way up again. TOEFL, 6 questions. The first 2 are independent. You'll see the question. You have 30 seconds to prepare. Maybe you can make notes if you want to. 60 seconds to speak. The last 4 questions are called integrated. They're called integrated because they also involve reading and or listening. In questions 3 and 4, you have a reading passage, which is the background information. All right, here's a little strategy for you. You use the background information to introduce your speaking. Okay, so your first 2 or 3 sentences have to do with the reading. You have a reading, then you have a listening. That's where you're going to hear the details and the points that they want you to discuss when it's your turn to speak. So your speaking is going to mirror the test, all right? It'll be much easier for you if you do it that way. They want you to use both the reading and the listening. So use the reading as your beginning, background, sort of topic paragraph, and use the listening as your supporting ideas. Okay? Again, 30 seconds to prepare, 60 seconds to speak. Oops, you know what? Questions 1 and 2, you only have 45 seconds to speak. I'm wrong. I forgot. I got mixed up there. The last 2 questions, 5 and 6, you listen only. You listen to a conversation, 2 people, or sometimes occasionally more. A conversation. Question 5 is a conversation, and that's it. And then your question 6 is a lecture, and that's it. You only have 20 seconds to prepare and 60 seconds to speak in the last 2 questions. And by the way, as my week continues during this time slot, we will be practicing. We'll take chunks. We'll do the independent questions 1 and 2, and then we'll do 3, 4 one day, and we'll do 5, 6 another day, and practice, practice, practice. Okay, so that's basically the test. Let's. I want to talk more about some tips. Tips for the speaking test, and I will tell you for any speaking test, really. Well, we talked about it a little, free word association, being able to brainstorm. Definitely, it's something you need to practice. As well, it is perfectly okay to lie. However, there's a caveat to that. Do you know that word, caveat?
Yes.
No.
Just like warn or
warning. Yeah, kind of a warning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it means well, it's in my example right now. You can lie. It's okay to lie in the test, but the caveat is the but. A caveat is where the but comes in. But anybody's going to be able to speak with more detail and more relaxed when they're talking about their own experience, whether that is a personal experience, something you personally saw on the internet or on TV, whatever. Your speaking is because it's already there in your brain. So it's much easier to make it come out here if it's already in here to begin with. If you're making things up, it's much more difficult unless you're a really good liar. Are you a good liar, Chow?
No.
How do you rate yourself as a liar, 1 to 10? 1 is very bad, and 10 is a very good liar.
2. I don't want to give me a 1, so 2. Yeah.
Okay. Well, my advice for you in the TOEFL test: don't lie.
Okay.
Okay. Igor, are you a good liar?
Depends about what to lie, and depends what for to lie. So.
Okay.
If it's very important.
Okay.
I can lie. You never know at the time.
Yeah, never know. Okay. Very good. Juan, are you a good liar?
So-so.
So-so. Average. Get around. Okay. Yeah, me too. I'm so-so. All right, but when we're talking about taking the test, here's a way that you might lie and get away with it. And it's actually fairly easy. You're not really creating totally different ideas. You have an opinion about something. let's say the question is about, is pollution getting worse in your country? I can lie like this. Well, I recently read a study in which they showed that pollution is actually decreasing in the rivers and streams. Lie!
No, they would think that you are crazy.
Why would they think I was crazy?
Because you say with so serious that your head is decreased, and they know that it's not true.
Yeah, but you know what? It doesn't matter. If you said in the Philippines, there are several types of flying vegetables. The corn can fly by spinning its little leaves up in the air, and carrots fly by gently flapping the little green leaves. Of course, that's nonsense, but it doesn't matter if I'm using clear, logical English, even though the idea is crazy. They're testing your English speaking. Yes, it is. Yeah, I'm a little crazy. But even if the idea is, they're not testing your ideas. Not at all. They're not judging your opinions. 0%. Not at all. What they're judging is mostly the organization of your speaking, but then, of course, sentence structure. Well, you know what? It's about 50-50. Half of it is organization, and half of it, okay, 25% pronunciation to include this word stress and proper intonation, and 25% sentence structure. Do you know how to form sentences properly? So basically that's what they're looking at. Half the battle, people, is organization. So if you're having problems thinking of reasons, you can make up. People, even simple things like many people say that pollution is getting worse in this country. That's not true. I just made up that information, but it's okay to do that. So that's just an example of me lying, but not really.
You have to have a certain confidence. Believe.
Well, you do. That you're absolutely right, and you're right for actually two different reasons. Part of what they're really listening for is, are you a confident English speaker? So this is a part of the caveat to you can lie, but maybe you shouldn't if you're not a good liar, because you're absolutely right. You need to sound relaxed and confident as a speaker. You're absolutely correct. And when you're not, you tend to make mistakes anyway. Self-correction and filler, things like that. Yeah, so you're right on more than one level, is what I'm saying. I'm agreeing strongly. If you keep notes, keep it short and organized. You certainly do not have time to be writing full sentences. Absolutely not. The preparation time is very short. Basically, keywords or key phrases that you want to use, or keywords that maybe define your points. Especially in the later questions where you're listening for points made by the speakers, either a conversation or the lecture. Please use notes. Please write down those points, because that's the whole key, is you're going to have to talk about those points. Please write them down. But as obviously, again, as briefly as you can. Make sure, actually, if you're taking any of these tests, that you know going into the test what your system of note-taking is. What does it mean when you circle something? What does an X mean? An arrow means what? An underline a word means what to you? Understand your own system of note-taking. Okay? So you make a bunch of notes, and then you know what your notes mean. Know that going into the test, because you have to figure out a system where you can write notes very, very fast. As Igor did when he demonstrated an answer earlier, you should introduce what you're going to say, absolutely, but one sentence. You usually do the trick. You don't need to make an introduction last 20 seconds. you're going to end up repeating yourself, which again, bad, bad, bad. Again, I can't emphasize enough. Usually what you're looking for is 2 examples. For example, look, in the integrated parts of the test, they always make 2 points. Be listening for 2 points. Your job will either be to express an opinion about those 2 points or to merely summarize what the 2 points were. There are always 2 points. Be listening for them. You know what to expect in the especially the listening. You're listening for those 2 main points. So again, as you're mirroring, sometimes you have to give 2 points because that's, you know, questions 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 6. That's what you're doing. But even questions 1 and 2, independent questions, try to give 2 supporting points. 2 is good. And again, 2 very quality is better than quantity, really. So, you know, 2 very well developed points with lots of details, specific examples. Oh yeah, use specific examples. Really, always. Now, one of the questions will be about, like my question to Igor, it'll be something about your personal life, whatever. So you're going to be talking first person, I think, or I felt at the time. Anything. Favorite questions are things like favorite. Chow, what's your favorite dish? What's your favorite food dish?
Tofu, Chinese tofu, and some vegetables together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if this was a question on TOEFL, obviously you have to come up with, well, it would be 45 seconds of speaking time. And it's very easy to answer that question. You just did. Chinese tofu with vegetables. Well, you're done. But you're not done because this is a TOEFL test. So how can you develop that idea? What else can you say?
I can use a experience about that.
Exactly. Precisely. Talk about a time, for example, my last birthday, for my special birthday dinner, my mom made Chinese tofu and vegetables. It was very delicious. But my mom's a little crazy, and it had to be 20 kilos of tofu and vegetables for my family. So we had to give away all the Chinese tofu and vegetables to the neighbors. There. Blah, blah, blah. Listen to Oakley talk. I'm just giving plenty of details. I'm telling a little story. But it's a logical story. So, using specific examples, telling personal, about your personal life experience, you'll do fine. Just relax. Again, imagine that you're talking to a friend. Keep it conversational. A major point. You're not doing a speech. Do not think of your TOEFL test as a speech. It's not supposed to sound like you're giving a speech. You're not supposed to sound that way. You're supposed to sound relaxed and confident. Again. So tell a little story. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. In fact, they like it. You should use transition words. You can call these signal words, signal phrases, discourse markers, whatever you want to call them. But very, very simple things like first of all, secondly, after that, on one hand, blah, 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 blah. On the other hand, blah, 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 for doing contrast. All right. In conclusion, and that's why I think, okay, you should definitely use those. The caveat here is don't use the same one over and over and over. All right? Make sure that you know several. It sounds very strange, and I have experienced this before, where a student will use the same discourse marker over and over. It's just weird. And then. It's not good. Again, avoid repetition. It's basic. Okay, I said that already. Okay, I've made all these points already. Hang on. Stay organized. Make sure that you give an introduction, a body. If you can do a conclusion, it's great. If you get your topic sentence and you got 1, 2 strong points in there, but you realize you still have 15 seconds to speak, you have a choice now. Okay? You can give a conclusion, in other words, restate the topic sentence, and that's totally cool. Or another thing you can do is you can make a concession. Do you know what I mean by that? Do you know what I mean by make a concession, Juan?
No idea.
No idea?
No idea.
Okay. Make a concession. All right. You say, okay, I think, try to give you an example. I think that the pollution is increasing in the Philippines all the time. And now I make my point. I see the dirty river. I see people just throwing stuff in the street, and nobody seems to care. Here's my concession. However, on the other hand, there are more and more conservation groups in the Philippines forming to try to deal with these problems. I have noticed it's become more and more popular to be a member of one of these conservation groups. Okay, I'm conceding a point. I'm saying, yes, more pollution, point 1, point 2. However, you know, maybe some people are doing something about it. That's a concession, or I'm conceding a point. Actually, TOEFL loves that for some reason, because they like you to use contrast vocabulary, contrast phrasing, contrast sentence.
Like you argue with yourself. Like you argue with yourself. Like you talk with yourself.
Yes.
You question and answer, and you debate with yourself.
Kind of, yeah. Actually, you're right. But I'll tell you what, TOEFL is awfully fond of that type of discourse, that type of speaking. I don't really know why they're so fond of it, but they are. They like it. And also, Hitchem, TOEFL likes it. TOEIC, I know you're out there, and I know you're probably thinking about the TOEIC test. TOEIC loves it when you do that. They really, really like you to do concessionary speaking. I don't know why, but I guess it's a more highly developed skill, I suppose, is their logic. Keep it simple. Okay, if you do not understand an idiom, don't use it. If you have a word and you're not sure if it's right or not, then don't use it and keep it more simple. It is better to keep it simple than totally use the completely wrong word or an idiom in a completely incorrect way. Can you use idioms? By all means. Phrasal verbs, no problem. Absolutely, as long as you're using them correctly. Can you use a quote to make a point? Yes, you can. As someone once said, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So I like to stay active in my life, blah, 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 blah. It's okay to do that if it helps you to make your point, as long as it's obviously related to the question. Here, if you find yourself, another point, if you find yourself repeating yourself, try to force yourself to move on to something else. You're going to lose more points by just rephrasing and getting stuck than you are if you slightly go off topic. Okay? It's worse to repeat yourself. I've said it like 3 times. Repeating yourself, bad. You don't want to do it in any way. I've repeated myself about repeating myself. How ironic. One other thing, and this may seem strange, but try to think about the verbs. Verbs, really important. And actually, when you're doing the reading section, to get the meaning as you're skimming or scanning, you may find that you're looking at the verbs in sentences, or you should be. All right. Verbs are very powerful and dynamic. They're telling you what's going on. So when you're, yes, it's great to have good adjectives and modify your adjectives. That's actually very important. It was a super hot day. Super hot. Instead of just saying it was a hot day. Yes, that is important. But also try to be thinking about your verbs in sentences, if possible. Verbs are really important, and they make your speaking more interesting, if you can. That's really hard to do when you're speaking. So what I might suggest is if you ever are learning new vocabulary, however you do it, whatever your method is, always concentrate on doing some verbs, just as a regular part of your English learning experience. Having a wide range of verbs will definitely help your speaking. It'll help you be a more interesting speaker, to be quite frank. You should use full pronunciation, of course, but it is perfectly okay to use contractions. What do I mean by contractions? Anybody?
Do not say do not, but don't.
Don't. Can't. Won't. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to go. I would. I'd like to go to Spain someday, like that. It's okay.
No, hello, how are you? But howdy. Hello, howdy.
Only if you're a cowboy.
Yeah, Texas.
From Texas, yeah. Okay, well, hopefully I've given you a lot of points. Tomorrow we'll be doing a TOEFL class again. We'll probably doing more practice. I will briefly tomorrow go over some of the scoring, but then we'll start doing some more practice. In my next class, coming up in the next hour, we're going to be having a conversation about changes, which, by the way, is very much related to question 2 in TOEFL. So anybody who wants to join my next class, basically the kind of questions I'll be asking students are just like question 2. So it would be good practice for anybody. We're going to talk about changes in technology, changes in the education system, fashion, whatever. So you're going to have to do comparison before and now. You're going to have to do description and whether you think it's good, opinion. So exactly like question 2. So hopefully see you guys in a minute or two, because I have to close this window and open another one and start my next class.
See you, teacher.
All right. Thank you. Take